With linear equations, we also want to be able to solve worded questions. So there's lots of different types of worded questions. You can have quadratics and simultaneous equations, but a lot of them will just be straightforward linear. Something worded you have to turn into an equation. So here, 5 is added to a number. Okay, so right off the bat, we want to define that number. So we're going to say x is our number. So 5 is added to a number. So I have my number plus 5. And the result right there tells you that's equals. The result divided by 4 gives 23. So whatever we have, 5 is added to a number, and that result is divided by 4. Okay, so we need to divide that by 4, and our answer gives 23. So generally you just need to figure out which numbers go where. So break it down sentence by sentence, or even word by word. 5 is added. Well, right there we know that's 5 plus to a number. We add that in. Divided by 4 gives 23. So we can break our words down and actually right there get what our equation is. And then we need to rearrange it. So we'll get rid of the fraction first. Times by 4. X plus 5 equals 92. And then minus 5. So x equals 87. Done. Alright, here's another example. A little more complicated. Find the area of a rectangle. Okay, so there it's you assuming we've got some previous knowledge. We know area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. So once again, I've just broken it down. I've read the first few words and written down what I know. Okay, his perimeter is 4.8. Cool. Perimeter equals 4.8. And we get perimeter of a rectangle by 2 lots of the width plus 2 lots of the length. So once again, just writing down what I know. If it's 0.5 meters longer, okay, so then it is wide. So we've got our length and our width. So 0.5 longer than it is wide. So it's saying this length here is 0.5 more than our width. So we need to add 0.5 onto our width to get our length. So width plus 0.5 equals length. So that's a lot of information going on there. But we have to do a few steps here. So our final thing we want to find is the area. So keep that in mind. We want, therefore, area equals something. Cool. We know width and length, and we know perimeter. Alright, so let's use this equation because this has some numbers in it we can actually use. So 4.8 equals 2 times our width plus 2 times our length. But we only want to have one unknown in there. I know length is 0.5 plus width. So I'm going to write that in there instead of my length. This is technically a simultaneous equation, but we're not going to talk about that. So 4.8 equals 2 width plus, we expand our brackets, 2 width. 2 times a half is 1. Okay, so we're going to simplify this, and I'm going to take 1 to the other side while I'm doing it. So 3.8 equals 4 width. So I want to know what my width equals. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. Therefore, width equals, I should have calculated it, my bad. 3.8 divided by 4, 0.95. Okay, so I know my width now. I can find my length because length equals my width plus 0.5. So So 0.95 plus 0.5 is, don't know why I used a calculator, 1.45. Okay, so now I have my width and my length, and my area is length times width, which is 0.95 times 1.45, which is 1.3. We're going to round to 2 decimal places because everything else is 2 decimal places, meters squared. Alright, now that was a hard one, but that's a similar sort of equation to what you might get, so I'd take note of him. And there's some more questions for you to do on worded equations.